DJ Don Genius, spinning the wheels of steel.
Okay. So welcome aboard again today, my wonderful viewers. From the little intro you've seen, we are going to be talking about the continuation of the series we started, talking about wordplay and a host of others. So I promise you guys that I'll bringing you this video today where we'll be talking about mashups. So from the little intro you've seen, it's a very popular song and you know it very well to a large extent. So you can see how I'm using a completely different beat, playing around with it and then giving it some little touch. Just from my keyboard I play around with the beat. Just watch as the beating is going. I'm going to be playing around with it now. So as I've said earlier in my previous video where I talked about the wordplay, we also mentioned how you can get to understand the mapping, how the script behave. So I think the primary thing of concern here is you can get any drum samples of your choice, then maybe fine tune it to your taste, and then if fine tuning it to your taste, you need to understand how to do this necessary mapping of these keys, this letter J, K. Though it's not stable, it's not the usual key I use, but I'll make this mapping available in the link in the description of the video where I usually put it there. So you have your J, this one is hot Q2, hot Q1, this J is hot Q1, this is hot Q2, this is a flexible hot Q, sorry, then this is your hot Q1, this is hot Q2, just as I have it in the beat. Let me hold the beat for now so that you see it. This is hot Q1. So in connection with some other mapping that ensures, so since it is hot Q1, we now have this one which is hot Q2. Hear it. So this is hot Q2. Why it behaves that way is it behaves as if it is a Q underscore play, but it's not really Q underscore play, it's hot Q. So it maintains the volume at 100%. When the key is down, then return it back to 0% when I leave it. While this other ones ensures that it maintains the volume at 100% even after leaving the keys. These two, this is J, G and H. So that is the key thing there. So it's not something really new, but if you need the mapping, I will also make it available. You can drop your comments at the description box so that the comment box, so that we give you the mappings for these keys, or if possible I will display it on the screen so that you see them individually. Then when you get the cue, when you get the song, let me stop the songs for now. So this is it on a normal sound, this is it, and then this is it. So I now do tum tum ka tum. So depending on the pattern you want to adapt, you can also have an undertone beat that will be guiding you on how you go about it, so that you maintain the tempo. You do it. This is something that you don't just do overnight. It is practice. You do it over and over again, then you get to see how it flows along with the song. So you will now get a very common song that you are very conversant with. You understand how the song flows, then you will now drop it on it, while you are also using this part to be playing around with these two keys, to be playing around with the Q1 and Q2 of the beating, so that you blend it very well. It can be keyboard sounds and a host of others. I also have some keyboard or some flute sound in my description, and the link I usually give those who have downloaded some things will also notice I have a lot of content there, so you can get it there and then play around with it the way you want. So I think we are not talking much here in this case. Let me just give you a brief overview of the mappings that we are using. We have G. Don't worry about the grammar there. Those things are not too necessary. I've explained them so many times. This is a hot Q1, as I've said earlier. You can see it. Then with the level 100%, which is at the end here, highlighted. Then you now have your H. This is H at the same time too. This is hot Q. It's a flexible hot Q. We didn't map it to a particular point. It can adapt to any of the mapping, any of the hot Qs that we select. Even if it is hot Q 100, this will automatically pick that particular point. It's working with the default deck. We also have the volume at level of 100%. That is what makes it different. This is letter H. This is letter H. This letter you are seeing on the screen alongside this one. This is it. Then this is G. This is it. This is the mapping for it. So this is J. This is H. This is J. This is J. This is the mapping for it too. It's a hot Q with some flexible, adjustable mappings there. As I've explained this several times. I don't need to be going back and forth. But if you need the explanation, you can watch the other video. That is part 1 and part 2. Or if possible, you can watch the basic foundation of virtual DJ programming. There's a content I also make there. It will help you a lot to understand how this thing works. This is K. This is K, which is the same thing. This K and J, they are the same. The only difference there is the position of the hot Q. While K is hot Q2, J is hot Q1. J is hot Q1. Then K is hot Q2. So this is it for all that you need for now. So let's see how we can play around with it. So now that you now have a little view of what this can do, the keyboard mapping is so much flexible that I'm sure by the time you are used to it, I'm sure you wouldn't be worried about whether your controller is working or your controller is not working. So we are going to have a little test of something. Then from there maybe we are going to be building it. Then I will see how we introduce some other concept, maybe subsequently in my next video, on how we can improve on it. Then introduce the good thing about one good thing I also add here is you can use this concept to even transit. So maybe subsequently in my next video we'll be using that to transit from one song to another. Let's see how we'll go with it. This beating I'm going to be playing around with it. You just watch and see how I'm going to be playing around with it, shifting it from one particular familiar beating that you know to other familiar beating that you know. So now that you have little idea on this, so let's continue with the song that was initially playing on the beating. Let's continue to enjoy ourselves. So this is strictly mostly for fun. Then you can continue to build on it on other aspects. So thank you very much for being there. Don't always keep a date as I continue to give you more. You can ask your question and a host of others. So thank you very much for being there.
Okay.